Like there's supposed to be this specificity. You can't just say, yeah, well, okay, and many people do. They say, oh, it's emergent, and what does that mean? Well, it's just something that holds in this world. I find that completely unsatisfying. I think if we're going to have theories, they need to tell you what is the space of possibilities from which this was picked and why this specific thing other than something else. There's also a computer science question here, which is that computations cost energy and they take time, which is we know when the human was computed in the eons of bashing the genome against certain environments. That's when you computed how to make a human. When did we pay the computational cost for xenobots or anthrobots? We never did. There was never that process never took place. So there's something really missing with the standard account, I think. So now the key question: well, what else could possibly be left? Okay, so there's two approaches to this. One approach is to say these things are just emergent. There's lots of emergent surprises. And I find this completely unsatisfying because I don't want to have a big book of emergent surprises that we write them down in, and then sort of that's that.
But that seems kind of close to just saying, well, it's a miracle.
Basically, and it's funny because what I'm about to say, a lot of people would say that's the more sort of woo-woo explanation, but I actually think it's the other way around. The standard explanation is very Mysterian. It's very Mysterian. It's very pessimistic. It just means that, yeah, we're going to be surprised from time to time. We're going to record all these things, and they're just things that hold in our world. I find that totally unsatisfying. I prefer a more optimistic idea, which is this. Let's suppose, and there's a precedent for this. The precedent is mathematicians. So there's a lot. I don't know if probably most. I haven't done the survey, but many, if not most, mathematicians think that they are not creating, think they are exploring and discovering a pre-existing set of truths. There is a space of mathematical facts, things like the actual value of E and Feigenbaum's constant, and facts about why you can have formulas to solve equations of degree 4 but not 7. It's impossible. Like why? Like all these things, right? There are all these facts about mathematical objects that do not have an explanation in terms of selection or physics, and they think they're exploring those. We already know that a lot of those patterns are important for both physics and biology. I think biology exploits those patterns like crazy because they're amazing free lunches. They save evolution time. For example, let's just imagine that there's some world in which selection, the highest fitness in this world belongs to a triangle of a very particular shape. So evolution cranks a bunch of generations and it finds the first angle, great. And it cranks a bunch of generations and finds the second angle, great. Now you save 1/3 of the time. You don't need to look for the third angle. You know exactly what it is because there's this magical fact of geometry that tells you what it is. If you got the first two, you know what the third angle is. You don't need to evolve it. And there's tons of stuff like this where if you just do certain things, like if you evolve a voltage-gated ion conductance, like a voltage-sensitive ion channel, you got a transistor. With a couple of those, you can make logic gates. You get the whole truth table and all the cool properties of logic gates. You don't have to evolve the truth table. You get it for free from mathematics. That's just how it is. You don't need to spend the time doing that. So my point is this, that what I think, and I go into this in great detail in one of the talks on this symposium page, that what I think is happening here is that there is a structured, ordered set of patterns. Many of these patterns are very simple things that mathematicians study, but others of these patterns are quite complex, dynamic patterns that are facilitated by physical interfaces. What are those physical interfaces?